They say everything happens for a reason, but I suspect everything happens for a Reese's. Like this commercial break. Did you need 15 seconds away from music? Or 15 seconds to eat a Reese's? Perhaps it's true. Everything happens for a Reese's.
This podcast is brought to you by Colgate Total. We take oral health as seriously as you take sports. That's why Colgate Total Active Prevention uses advanced technology to help prevent oral health problems like cavities and gingivitis before they start. It's clinically proven to provide 24-hour antibacterial protection with twice daily brushing after 4 weeks of use. So get a winning routine and prevent oral health problems before they start. Shop Colgate Total Active Prevention at a retailer near you.
The Emmy Award-winning HBO original series Hard Knocks Training Camp brings viewers into the preseason with unparalleled access to the reigning Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Go behind the scenes with Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and the legendary Dark Side defense as they prepare to make another run at the NFL title. See how the best in the world take the hype and pressure head-on. Your football fix starts here with the personalities and challenges that define a championship team. Bonds will be built. Bloopers will be captured. Hard Knocks Training Camp with the Seattle Seahawks premieres Tuesday, August 4th at 9 p.m. on HBO Max.
How's it going, guys? Everyone tuning in. Not our usual episode this week. Usually we bring you some stuff across the league and everything, but one of the purposes we decided to come up with this show and bring it to all of you was to give you a glimpse into the lives of NFL players and what goes on, especially during a season. Yeah. And right now there's one topic on the forefront of everybody's mind, and it's seemed right to kind of designate an entire episode what's happening as a result of last night's incident at the Bills Bengals game involving Damar Hamlin. So it is Tuesday at 5:15 on the dot p.m. Eastern time. And I guess we're going to offer kind of our thoughts on last night's incident, everything involved with it, and how that is affecting the rest of the NFL. I don't even know if we want to call it an episode. This is kind of a reaction video that we thought we'd bring to you guys. So definitely does not feel right to comment on anything else that happened throughout this week or anything that's going to happen next week. Right now, a lot of focus and just, energy is all devoted towards what Damar and the Buffalo Bills and the NFL is going through with what happened last night. So needless to say, but we're going to do it anyways. Our thoughts and prayers are with obviously Damar Hamlin, his entire family, and both the Bills and Bengals organization. So I guess let's talk right away. Monday night, halfway through the first quarter, just about, actually 5:58 remaining exactly. This takes place. What were your initial thoughts? First of all, were you watching the game? Me and Dad's and Tony, we were watching the game and decided we were going to go to a restaurant and watch the remaining of it. So on the way to the restaurant was when we found out about the incident. Immediately turned on the game on my phone just to hear what was going on as I was driving. And you want to talk about terrifying. You see all the videos of the reactions of guys on the field. And immediately you think of putting yourself in their shoes and in Damar's family's shoes, the things that they're going through emotionally. It was demoralizing, and it's scary. It's scary to see anybody go through that, let alone somebody that's doing the same thing that you are, that is playing football, a game. But we were watching it and hearing the commentators be very unsure initially about what was going on, and then hearing how serious of a incident it was. It was, like I said, it was terrifying, and immediately I think if I would have seen the reactions of players live on the field, I would have probably lost it. In terms of my emotions for him and his family, but it was obviously nothing that was taken easy by anybody. Yeah, we were not watching the game in the Kelsey household, and I was just sitting on the couch. I don't even remember what I was watching, to be honest with you, because this kind of took center stage the moment we found out about it. And Kylie, another wife from another player on the Eagles, texted her and asked her if she was watching the game and whether she was witnessing what was taking place. And
that's when we kind of started following it. I watched all the replays of the incident. You turn the channel to the game and you're watching everything taking place. And, I think the video, when I first watched the video, I was and this is before we had turned the TV on, just the pure replay of it. It was very, it didn't look crazy until, Damar fell down afterwards.
Yeah.
And it looked very odd. It's like, was he concussed? What's going on? And then when you turned the TV on and you had the game there, it really became evident that it was something very serious when you started seeing the reaction of the teammates, the players on the field, grown men brought to tears. The teams were across the field with each other. You know what I mean? It became something much bigger than a game of football at that point. And that's when you knew something very serious was happening down on the field. It's hard to even describe, the feeling on the field. I can't imagine what those guys were going through. The level of uncertainty. You're seeing somebody perform CPR to a teammate. Like, I think multiple players talked about that being a point of shock to them because, we've all seen, guys lying unconscious on the field. We've seen guys with neck injuries, but there aren't too many times you've seen CPR administered. And that's when it's something, hey, this is something way different. I don't know what's going on right now, but this has not happened. This is not normal. This isn't something that you see in a football field. So, that's when I think all those guys really started to realize this is something way different. Not that this is at all similar, but very coincidentally, we had a teammate with the Eagles this week go down. Josh Sweat went down with like a neck injury.
Yeah.
And I remember being on the sideline. It messed us up. I remember taking a knee and just looking and waiting for his legs to move, waiting for his hands to move. There's few things that have brought me greater joy than seeing Josh Sweat today, this morning, and knowing that he's going to be all right, knowing that he's going to be good, that he's not devastated from some injury that's going to affect him for the rest of his life. In the moment, we got to know that on the field. So we were able to get back out there and go about playing football, even though it probably still affected us. So for these guys not to have that, you know what I mean? To really not know what
still
was
not
going
to have
on.
that.
Yeah, to still really not have the clarity of what's going to be the future for Damar. Man, I can't imagine what that feels like for these guys on the field, for his parents. It clearly has gripped the entire NFL community.
Yeah. There's not much you can really say.
What did you think of when it first happened, I guess? What was your immediate thoughts?
Immediate thoughts are at least for me, is, his family, what his family's going through. I'm terrified to ever be laying on the field and having you or mom or dad, in question of everything that's going on,
Yeah.
That's probably the sickest feeling you can have as a player in my mind. It's why I always, even if I'm banged up, if I can get up and off that field and show that, anything, I'd rather do that than to be laying on the turf. That doesn't even sound right. I don't even know.
No, unfortunately, football is a very violent sport, and injuries like that can happen. I'll never forget, and I feel ashamed that I don't remember the game. I'm pretty sure it was the Tennessee Titans game when you had the concussion and were lying down on the field.
Even then, I tried to get up as fast as possible. It was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. That made it even more scary. As a family member, man, I can't tell you, there's absolutely nothing crazier than witnessing somebody you love and not knowing whether they're going to be okay. It's absolutely the worst feeling in the world. That's why I don't remember who you guys are playing half the time, because immediately, everybody, forgot about that. I forgot about it. I'm just thinking about it. And I'm trying to text guys, "Are you all right?" That was insane. Immediately, whenever something like that happens, you think about the family members and the friends and the teammates and seeing all the guys' reactions.
The people
on the field.
Closest to him.
Yeah, the people that know him. What's going on? How are they reacting?
We play this game to give those people specifically happiness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to strike fear in their minds, to strike worry, that ain't it, man. And that's unfortunate. It's a scary feeling to even try and put yourself in his shoes, or their shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a lot of love for his family and friends and everyone close to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
So you guys had work today. You guys had meetings. How did the Kansas City Chiefs? How was the reaction in the building today for you guys?
Yeah. The first thing we had was a team meeting. Coach Reed brought up our head athletic trainer, who's well respected around the league and has a very clear understanding of what goes on during the NFL game day in terms of what's on the sideline at every single NFL game because of the possibility of something like this happening in terms of someone getting injured. And there's anywhere from 35 to 40 medical professionals that have their eyes on the game at all time that are working specifically for situations like this, or if somebody were to get injured on the field anyway.
Yeah.
And it's it was a little reassuring to hear, that how safe of an environment it is, and that because of that, Damar has a chance to be all right. But at the same time, it's still very I don't know. There's not much I can really. I'm not good at describing these feelings, man. This is it's a tough one to even go through.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's never going into cardiac arrest is a bad situation, but the NFL field, with how many medical professionals are on the field, ambulances are nearby. They have the oh my gosh, I forget what they're called. AED, basically shocks your heart back into beating. All of these things are there and on scene, so it's one of the safest places that can happen outside of being physically in a hospital. There is everything in place possible to try and assist as quickly and efficiently as human beings have the technology to do, pretty much. And hopefully that was enough. We didn't have meetings today. We were back in the building for treatment, or people that wanted to go in to kind of get a jump start on the week. And it was all anybody was talking about. I'm sure we'll have a meeting on it tomorrow as a team. People have been texting nonstop. Coaches asking how you feel, what's going on. Have you reached out to anybody? Pretty much the only person that I really know that well to reach out in the Bills organization's one of the coaches. So I reached out to him today, but I think everybody's processing it differently. One of the craziest things about like an injury on a sporting field is, sports is like supposed to be the place you go to kind of get away from problems. It's supposed to be an area of a different domain, kind of. Whenever anything's going on outside of your life, it's one of the things that you can go to that's always there to just get away from whatever else is going on.
Yeah,
whenever I've had problems outside of
else.
football, family members, friends, whatever it is, football is like its own area that you can just go out and play a game. That's what makes this incident particularly troublesome, is that this is how all of us get away from these types of things that are going on, that you want to step away and just get lost in the game, get lost in, having a good time with your teammates. And, to see this happen on a field, primetime television, around a lot of, our brothers in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's shocking, and it's certainly, everybody's going to process it differently. And, for me, I went into the building today, tried to get a fresh start on this week's opponent. But man, it's all around. It is being talked about all over the place. I don't think I've ever heard the word commotio cordis used as much as I have in the last 24 hours.
And I hope I never have to
hear it again
this much ever again.
Yeah.
This is. I mean, that's a terrifying thing to even know is possible.
Yeah, I remember a lacrosse player years ago, unfortunately, being struck and his heart stopping. I remember Chris Pronger having commotio cordis from a slap shot. He was able to make a full recovery. But yeah, I mean, you see the hit to the chest. You see a lot of the signs. We'll find out more as things progress. But it's still so fresh. I'll be interested to see what our team meeting is like tomorrow.
Well, we know one thing, and that is that everyone's very sensitive of the subject. Everyone wants to support Damar, his family, as much as possible.
Yeah, the outreach by the NFL community has been unbelievable. I mean, I think his Toy Drive Foundation is over $4 million raised. Pretty amazing support from the NFL. You've seen multiple, people reach out. I thought Mike Tomlin's video in particular was outstanding. I mean, shocker that Coach Tomlin hits the nail on the head again and speaks to Damar as a human being, as a fellow Pittsburgher, as a guy who he was able to watch mature, grow, and to realize his dream and how much that's affecting him. And yeah, it's truly been incredible seeing the amount of people that have been able to come together off of this tragedy.
Yeah, and I would say hats off to Zach Taylor and Sean McDermott being the first ones to realize the entirety of the situation, and that even how much this game means to a lot of what happens in the AFC, they realize that this game is exactly that, and it doesn't hold any place in this time. Yeah, taking their teams off the field, realizing that until we find out that he's okay, this game doesn't mean a damn thing. Yeah, and it's and that's what it felt like. I couldn't imagine having to go back out there and play and trying to play this game after something like that, and I couldn't. I don't think I could. So I just wanted to say I appreciate both teams' head coaches being able to realize the circumstances.
For sure. I mean, I think we've all played games when guys have had traumatic injuries or terrible things happen, but this was different. There was some level of there's like no finality to it. Like when a guy has a concussion, he's motionless. You find out what's going on, whether he's going to be okay. Even when a guy has like a neck issue and has to be taken off in a cart or like an ambulance, right away what's going on. And again, I think playing the game allows you to kind of get away from what just happened. But this one, it was really evident with not just the circumstances involving Damar and not knowing what was going to happen, but also just, the players, you could tell on their faces on the field that they had no business going back out there. The level of distraught, the level of the amount of guys that were emotionally just completely detached was evident on the TV. And, it's good on Zach and Sean for both being able to realize, hey, none of these guys are in the headspace to come out here and do this right now. Let's all step away and I'm sure there are a lot more people involved than just Zach and Sean, but it definitely appears that those two guys in particular, knew that this was not something that was going to be able to take place. Yeah, how do you get ready to play Week 18?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't see. Yeah, I don't even want to get into it. Sure. Today it was a very, I want to say, awkward day, but it definitely started like that. Sure. Awkward might not be the right word. It was a different day that presented a lot of different emotion. It wasn't your typical Wednesday install or base install day. It was just a lot of unfortunately sad emotion going around, and I feel like what happened really sobered everybody up into realizing yet again just how serious of a game it is that we play.
I guess for Week 18, for me, I think just getting back in the build and going back to playing football. I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but that's one of the ways I process, things going on in my life. And it's my process. I know everybody's not going to be this way, but for me, a way to kind of, get clarity to move forward is to do something that I've done my whole life and to do something that I love with a lot of people that I love. And, the NFL is an incredible community, and we found that out within the last 24 hours. We found that out last night with the support that all the fans and media and everybody had for the Bills and Bengals players, not just Damar Hamlin and his family, but for the entire situation going on. We found that out over the last 24 hours with the amount of support everyone's getting. I mean, former teammates that have reached out to me to ask, how I'm doing, who I've reached out to. The game has been brought back to what it is. The NFL has been brought back to what it is. And that is something that unites a large amount of people that a lot of people have in common. And, getting back out there and back with my teammates is, for me, one of the greatest joys that I get to partake in. I think that's how I'm getting ready for next week. We'll all be following, the situation with Damar and how it progresses. But man, it has been encouraging. I don't know. It's been encouraging to see the humanity in everybody regarding this entire incident. This is such a privilege to be in this league, and to have the amount of support that we have from all of these fans. I mean, Damar Hamlin's charity, the Chase and M's Foundation toy drive, as of the time of this, is already at $4 million. And that's all pretty much happened within the last 24 hours.
You were mentioning getting back out there and playing, and as scary as of an incident that it is, the honor that you can have to go out there and play for him, play for, the people that are dealing with what they're dealing with, try and give them excitement, trying to give them something to get away from what's going on in their daily lives. The honor that I get from that is, it's priceless, man. You can't put a dollar amount on that. You can't put a ticket on that. I willingly will go out there and honor, just like I honored Brian Shazier, just like I honored Alex Smith, guys that I have a tremendous amount of respect for.
Absolutely. Well said, Trev.
Yeah. So coming together is the best way that I think we all can deal with it, and that's what we're doing. And as for Week 18, whatever ends up happening, whatever the NFL ends up deciding, just know if we end up going back out there to play, I'm sure every stadium will have two teams playing their tail off for Damar.
Yeah, the entire league right now is behind Damar, his family. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say it any better than you just did, so I'm not going to. And again, our thoughts and prayers are with Damar's entire family. Yeah, I think that wraps it up for this week. Felt like this was really the only news we wanted to really touch on. It's the only thing that felt like it was right to really talk about, because it's pretty much the main thing that's on all of our minds as NFL players. We'll be back next week with, hopefully a more normal episode and hopefully good news.
Great news.
Yeah, from Damar. And obviously, again, nothing but love and support to him and his family and both the Bills and Bengals organizations. And to everybody that's dealing with this on their own, man. Yeah. It's not fun. And we appreciate everybody that's reached out to us. It's definitely it's been helpful, and it's definitely puts things in perspective. See you guys next week. See you guys.